Hey there, Start here. Back again with another boss rush clear. This time a bit of a sort of a quote-unquote budgetized clear. You know, back in the day, you know, budget clears used to be sort of the thing and like the nomenclature we would use. These days, I mean, budget is such a subjective term. But anyways, what I've done is I've stripped it down. You know, a lot of people were like, oh, what do I do if I don't have Wilhelm? And, you know, I listed some other tanks in the comments. Like Abigail is probably your next best option as far as like tanking it. If you remember, I mentioned last time that Wilhelm is definitely not needed on the team for damage. And I'm going to prove that here by using Abigail. And we're not even going to have, you know, we're not even going to have Wilhelm's leader skill. So we're using Fundamental Force's own leader skill, which is only 900%. And we are still going to get this done. It's not going to be as quick, but we will get it done in 30 turns or less. I think it's actually going to be a 29 turn clear. So there's even one turn of cushion for you in there. If you like can't quite, you know, finish one of the bosses as quickly for whatever reason. And I've even stripped down the gear quite a bit on my Fundamental Force to show you sort of a more budget build for your Fundamental Force that still hits all the important killers. And I want to showcase a few different units. You can still use, you know, some of the other units from my previous clear. If you saw, like, you know, Vanille is still, you know, probably the best breaker and periler for this rush, but Zahn works very, very well. So if you have Zahn, and most of you guys should have Zahn because he was free from the NV Select shop. So at this point, you should have a Zahn. You know, he's really good. Ong, you know, I did not pull for Ong when he came out, but I did happen to get lucky and pulled him off a seasonal summon. So I have an EX1 Ong. He's really great for water element, plus brings bird killers. And then we've got Princess Sarah here, who's sort of the odd woman out. But she's fantastic on this trial because she has dragon killers and Aquan killers in her kit. So yeah, I mean, and she's got some LB fill for the party, which also comes in handy for just refilling LBs. So you can do like multiple LBs in a row and that type of thing. And we are bringing Abby because I think she's probably the next best option if you don't have Wilhelm. I will try some other different tank clears. Somebody said I would be a hero if I was able to do this with Esther. So challenge accepted. I will try to do this with Esther in another clear. But for now, I think Abigail's probably the most accessible tank, and the one that's going to be easy enough for people to replicate. So this clear should be, you know, fairly easy to replicate for you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the gear because there's no RNG involved in this one here. So we've got Zahn, he's got his STMR, and then he's got Fundamental Forces TMR on the other hand to take advantage of the Fist Imperil, and then just some high attack gear. We do need Kirasame's cape for death resist. Got to have death resist. All right, that is important. And then, oh, I didn't even finish building him for killers, did I? I guess we don't really need it. But he's got everything he needs. So you could just, you know, do whatever you need to fill out those last few. I gave him Hio's vision card because it's good. It works on him. So that's a nice vision card for him. Abigail is, you know, just built full on tanky. We want to make sure we're focusing on elements like ice and water, fire, wind, and earth. Those are the main ones we want to focus on as far as elemental resist. So you see she's like stacked on ice and water especially. That's important for Leviathan. Fire is important for Omega. Earth is important for Kokuryu, and wind for, what's her name? Siren. All right. And so, you know, nothing too fancy here. Strategic Cape is great. This is Maritime Strategist Nicole's TMR, which has 50% ice and water on it. Honor a Grandchild is great for ice resist. Kryla's Veil just for good resist across the board. Gleaming Rain is from the Clash of Wills shop. I think you can also now get it free from one of the other, from the other shop, the Anniversary shop. Scorched Earth is the same thing except for fire and earth. Winged Heart is great because it also does all ailment resists, plus a good smattering of elemental resists. Priestess's Vengeance, good for ice and water and earth. So yeah, and then yeah, the Sacred Shield card is fantastic on all magic tanks. So definitely slap that on her, and she is good to go. Fundamental Force, so mine is built pretty budget. We've only got one piece of Clash gear, that's the Ruler's Crown. She's got her TMR, obviously. In her other hand, we've got Tiger Fangs, which is a very old fist from like a super old trial. Which one's it from? I think it's from the Dark Espers, like the original Dark Espers trial, which gives this one-handed fist that has 75% Aquan Killer on it. Someone actually suggested that in the comments of my previous video, and so let's show it off here. For some Machine Killer, we've got Saz's Clothes. This is his STMR. It's a high attack gear with some Machine Killer on it, which is fantastic. Kurasame's Cape for Death Resist. We are going to need the Death Resist on this one because we are not going to be able to push the 50% threshold against Chaotic Engine. So unlike in my previous clear, we're not going to be able to skip the AoE death, so we definitely need the party to have AoE death. Rundorine is great because it has Aquan Killer on it. That comes from Marine type Runda. And then very similar killers to what you saw before, like Final Stand is great for bird and machine, Avian Eater Sense for some bird killer, Black Submarine for aquatic and machine killers, Last Guardian is great for machine killers and dragon killers, and just a high attack materia. And then Hio's card is nice for some machine killers there. So I think all up, she's looking pretty good on... She's got her aquatic, human, machine, and dragon, and those are the important ones. You know, she's low on the bird killer, but we have Ong here to provide a bird killer buff, so we don't have to focus really at all on bird killer with this team. Okay, so she is good to go. Ong, he's EX1, so he's not really here to deal damage at all. As you're going to see, he's just more of like a water support, killer support. You know, when he does have his LB ready to go, we will use it to do some chaining and a little extra chip damage. But yeah, he's not really built for damage on this one. He's very hard to build for the killers on this one, but we did our best. We've got Scanning Goggles, which has Machine Killer on it, another Rundorine for the Aquan Killer, Blizzard Orb for Death Resist, because like I said, everybody needs Death Resist here, Aquan Eater Sense, Aquan Killer Plus, Last Guardian again for Machine Killers, Wings of the Warrior for Chain Cap Boost and some Machine Killer, and then just the free water card. So he's pretty sad on killers, I think. He's got 300 bird because he hits that innately, 200 aquatic, 125 human, 225 machine, and only 275 dragon. So yeah, his killers are pretty terrible. But you know, it is what it is, and like I said, he's just here for the water support. Sarah, again, we see the rune staff here so that she has silence to silence Siren. That is pretty important. Dragon Scale Garb is for the evasion. It has 30% evasion on it. That's from Wilk. Watch of Eternity for stop resist. Death resist from Vermilion Flag, her own STMR. Isle of Chocobos for the ailment resist. Perfect Provocation. She will be our provoke unit, our passive provoke with full evasion. So Escape Artist, of course. And then I gave her a Hero Arrives, which does another 30% evasion. And then First Rate Treasure Hunter is nice for the Charm Resist. You will want that Charm Resist for Siren. Okay, so she's full provoke and full physical evasion there. All right. And like I said, she's really awesome for the because she has the 250 Aquan Killers and the 250 Dragon Killers, which is going to make clearing out bosses like Kokuryu and Leviathan just super easy. All right, now I am bringing a friend who is very well built for this trial. Thank you, Dr. No, for the Fundamental Force. Like I said, always look for one that has a Kokuryu Esper equipped, and you're almost guaranteed that it will be built for this trial. So yeah, lots of Clash gear. Here's Amulet for the Machine Killer. Kurasame's Cape for the Death Resist, of course. Black Submarine, Sea Serpent Slayer for Aquan Killer, Vortex of the Past for the Machine Killer, and Eithne's card, which is a really nice vision card for Fundamental Force. So let's check the killers. 50% Avian, doesn't matter, we're going to smash it anyways. The important ones are 300 Aquatic, 300 Human, 275 Machine, which is good enough, and 300 Dragon. Ready to go. All right, so maxed out. Thank you, Dr. No, for the fundamental force on this one. So let's get in here and let's see how we get this one done. All missions clear. All right, so pretty much all the bosses are going to be like 2-turn minimum. We don't have any that we're going to be able to kill on turn 1 with this team, and that's okay. We're still going to get the turn count mission, as you're going to see. All right, so we've got, for this one, Zahn is going to, actually, let's hold off on Zahn for 1 second. Let's see, one of the fundamental forces will do Inferno Nova, Guidance of Hercules, and Heavenly Hypernova. All right, so that does the 200% human killer buff. Zahn is going to steal that. So Zahn will do Deadly Daggers, Fatal Mirror on the fundamental force, and then Projected Mirror. All right, Ong will do, he's going to do Clear Sun for the buffs, Morning Dew, no, not Morning Dew, Midday Sun. I always get those mixed up. All right, Clear Sun for the buffs. That's the 400% stat buff and 300% LB damage buff. And then Midday Sun, so that we have a Fire in Peril. And then we will do Awakened Divinity for the mod boost to his own LB. Sarah, now since he's EX1, he does not have a full LB, so Sarah's going to kind of help out with that. She's going to do Quad Aura. Okay. All right, this fundamental force is going to do Prismatic Field for the Fire Amp Field, Inferno Nova, and Heavenly Hypernova. Okay, everyone should have 200% human killer. Yep, we're good to go. So we're going to do Methodical Mitigation here. We're going to do Anti-Physical for the for the defense break, which we'll need next turn. And then we're going to do In Fire Raga. Okay. All right, so now all we got to do, all right, Abby is just going to remove those Mirage stacks. She'll do SP Drone Type F, Double Bar Fire Raja to finish filling up. Oh, Ong's already filled, so don't have to worry about that really. All right, so yeah, we'll just do chain. These are all Extreme Nova chains. All right. And then Sarah can honestly just do another Quad Aura after everybody does their LBs, just to help with some fill up for Ong, because Ong doesn't have his filled up right away. Okay, so we'll send Zahn and Ong first, wait a second, then send the fundamental forces, all right? Okay, massive overkill. 22 billion. She only has, I think, 15 billion. So again, massive overkill there. Like I said, these initial bosses are all pretty weak. Now with the lightning bosses, all right, these are we're going to do things a little bit differently with the lightning bosses. So we're actually going to go water element on these guys instead of lightning. So you don't have to use the element, but since we don't have an external lightning imbue on the party, the fundamental forces, they have Enthundaga, but we want them to do their LBs on this turn. So we don't have any kind of external lightning imbue outside of the fundamental forces. So instead we're going to go water element. So we'll do In Waterga. We're going to do Rolling Mist, and then we are going to do Morning Dew for the Water in Peril. Okay. All right. Zahn is going to do Thick Fog, Master Dismantler for the 250 Machine Killer, and Projected Mirror to give everybody the 250 Machine Killer. Sarah's just going to do her LB, which does an LB damage buff for the fundamental forces. Okay. And then the fundamental forces just do their SLBs. Now we're not going to kill this boss. If mine was built, you know, a little bit stronger, you might actually kill this boss on turn 1. But like I said, I'm going a bit budget on the gear, so we're probably not going to kill. Abby will go ahead and do methodical mitigation just to make sure she covers everything. We don't have to worry about that. And then for the rest, she can just do like Barfire Raja, and we'll do Veil. I don't think the boss does any ailments, but you might as well put up some ailment resist just in case. Okay. And yeah, so this should do a pretty good chunk of the boss's damage. It probably won't kill it, but we'll definitely kill it next turn. Yeah, we came close. So like, if mine was even just a little bit stronger, we would have killed on turn 1 there. Yeah, see, like, it's got 15 billion HP. We did 14.5. All right, if mine was even just a little bit stronger, that would have been a first turn kill. But let's not assume that your fundamental force is stronger. So we're just gonna finish this guy off just with some chaining. Triple Galactic. All right, and that's all she wrote. Okay. All right, so Siren again. So her gimmick is to do the 5-stack Mirage every turn and then break your party by 300% unless you silence her. So if you saw my previous video, you know you can silence Siren and it changes her AI so that she doesn't do those 5-stack Mirages and she does not break your party anymore. So we get the silence from the rune staff, so Sarah's just going to silence. Okay. Ong is going to go ahead and imbue water again. We're going to do Sky Shooter. We already have our water amp field from the previous clear, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we'll just do Clear Sun for the buffs. Wait, let me make sure I'm doing the right one. And yeah, Sky Shooter, because that does the bird killer. Yep. Okay, Sky Shooter and then Clear Sun. All right, and these guys are just going to do Heavenly Hypernova and then Double Galactic. Heavenly Hypernova, Double Galactic. So we do need to get rid of the first, you know, we can't avoid her putting up the 5 Mirage stacks on turn 1. So we still need to get rid of those because they last for 5 turns if you don't chew through them. All right, Zahn's going to do Deadly Daggers, Thick Fog, and Trick Reversal. All right, Abby can just do Methodical, Anti-Physical, and we'll do Veil. Okay, and that should take care of it. Okay, so she does the single target charm on Sarah, but she is charm resistant. Good to go. All right, so now we just slay it. All right, let's do it. Yeah, we're all amped. Good to go. We got the killers. All right, this should be very, very simple kill. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a triple Barfire Raja after we do our LBs, and Sarah can go ahead and do Quad Aura. Yeah, there we go. All right. After we do the LBs, that way Ong is pretty close to full when it's all said and done. That way, you know, we can hopefully unload another LB quickly in the following phase. So we send Zahn first because he's going to do the mega breaks. We do Zahn, Ong, wait for a second, then send our fundamental forces, just like before. And it should be mega overkill. Again, she's only got 15 billion HP, and we did 28. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right, Tahto. Tahto, believe it or not, has given me some issues. He does not want to die on turn 2 for whatever reason, but it's fine. We don't, you know, if it takes you 3 turns to kill Tahto, it's not a big deal. It's really not. Okay. So just like against Kylma, one of the fundamental forces does Inferno Nova, Guidance of Hercules, and Heavenly Hypernova. All right, the other one does Prismatic Field for the amp field, and Inferno Nova and Hypernova. Okay. Sarah will just do... Ong is already full, so here's a good chance for Sarah to do something other than just fill LB. She can do... how about we do Light Breath? Oh, we can't do Holy Song. That's all right. Okay. I was going to say Holy Song is nice because it does MP refresh for the party, 500 every turn. But no one's really in any trouble of running out of MP, so I guess we don't really need to do that. But Light Breath is just kind of a cool little cooldown move. It does a big HP barrier, HP restore, mitigation, and it does that barrier every turn, which is just kind of nice. Having a little barrier is good. Okay. So we'll do that. Abigail is going to do... she'll do Methodical Mitigation. No, not Methodical Mitigation. We don't care about that. She'll do Drone Cover on this turn. Contingency Plan, and Barfire Raja. Alright, Ong can do in Fire Raga. Clear Sun and Awakened Divinity. Yeah, Clear Sun and Awakened Divinity is what we want to do. Yeah, that does the mod boost to his LB. Alright, Zahn on this turn can just do Deadly Daggers. Fatal Mirror on whichever fundamental force did the Human Killer buff, and then Projected Mirror to the party. Okay? And that should be good to go. Okay. All right, so we should be good to go there. We're now going to do Methodical Mitigation. We'll do SP Drone Type F for the Fire Imperil. Actually, do we need to do that really? No, because Zahn's going to do it on his LB. He's going to do a Fire Imperil on his LB, and he's going first anyways. So, yeah, we don't actually need to bother with that. So let's do Methodical Mitigation. We'll do Anti-Physical for the defense breaks. That is probably more critical. And we're already imbued, so we can just do like Anti-Magic as well. Okay, so we should all be good to go there then. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll finally kill him on turn 2. That would be really nice if we if we finally killed this guy on turn 2. Okay, so yeah, we should be good and amped on all that jazz. I'm just going to go ahead and send... okay, so yeah, I think we should be good. So again, send Zahn and Ong first, let it ramp for a second, and then send the fundamental forces, and you should be good to go. All right, let's do it. Nah, it's not going to kill him. Yeah, 5% every time. Every time. That's all right. I honestly don't... that's exactly what I expected to happen, so it's no big deal. Well, we're actually going to make up for it on Kokuryu, because normally Kokuryu takes 3 turns to beat, but with Sarah on the party, we can actually beat it in 2 turns. So it makes up for it. All right, we have been dispelled. It's no big deal. It's really no big deal. All right. What we're actually going to do is we are going to imbue with fire here, but then we're going to do rolling mist. We're going to go ahead and put our we're going to go ahead and put up our water amp field. Okay. And the reason why is we want that in place for next turn, because the next boss, we want to try and do a good chunk of damage on turn 1, and so that just saves some turn economy by having that that water amp field in place already. And then we can just do like, it doesn't really matter what he does here, just like Swift Arrow, I guess. Okay, we want to save our SLBs. We're not using those, so we're just going to do Triple Galactic Sunder. Okay, so we should be imbued with fire. Yep, we're still good. All right, we still have the preemptive human killer buff from Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah can do her SLB just for some buffs. Do we actually really need it? I guess we do. We need the attack buffs, don't we? Just to make sure we kill Tahto. And then Abigail can just do... She can just go ahead and fill up Zahn. It only takes 1 bar Fire Raja to fill up Zahn. We'll have him do his LB just to make sure that we kill this thing. And that should do it. Okay. Yeah. And that should take care of business. And, we only need to do 5%, which is like... What is that? Like 500 million or something. Yeah, it's not much. Okay, so 3 turns on Tahto, because he's a jerk, but it's fine. Alright, so far so good. Everything is going according to plan. All right, so just like the previous, lightning boss, we are going to go with water element. So in water gun, clear sun, and morning dew. That does the water imperil. I got to make sure I do the right one because I've definitely screwed that up before. But since we already have the water amp field in play, all right, we get the extra LB, or we get the extra LB damage and attack buff for the party. Okay. Zahn will do Thick Fog just to re-up the Imperil Field, Master Dismantler, and Projected Mirror for the Machine Killer buffs. Alright, so we are looking good. Alright, we got our big 250. Yep. Alright, so Abigail, all Abigail needs to do here is Methodical, for the Omni cover, Anti-Physical for the defense break. And we'll just do like Veil, I guess, just in case. Sarah doesn't really need to do anything. Is anyone running low on MP? I guess Ong kind of is. Why don't we do, let's do Holy Song to refill some of his MP. That should be fine. Alright, and then we'll just do SLBs. And this should push the 50% threshold so that we avoid the Dispel on turn 1. Okay, so we avoided the Dispel, so basically we can just reload and we can go again. Okay, let's do Triple Bar Fire Raja. Okay, and let's do it. Let's kill this guy. There you go, 2 turns. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, now we've got Kokuryu. Alright, and again, we have our water amp field in play already, so we don't have to really worry about doing that one up again, thankfully. So, alright, Abby. Again, she'll do Methodical to cover everything, Anti-Physical for the defense break, and then most importantly, Veil, because we have had our Petrify resistance reduced, so we need to do a Petrify resistance buff to make sure we don't get petrified on this turn. Alright, Sarah. On this turn, all she really needs to do here is... she's going to do Dragon Killer to Zahn, because he's going to spread it. And then, yeah, she can just do Light Breath, I guess. Why not? Okay. Ong is going to do In Waterga to imbue us, Clear Sun, and Morning Dew for the Imperil. Yes, that's right. Clear Sun and Water Gut and Morning Dew. That's right. Okay. Zahn will do Deadly Daggers, Thick Fog, and Projected Mirror to project the 250 Dragon Killer. It is Dragon, right? Yep, okay. The one time I did this and I accidentally did Aquan Killer because I thought he was an Aquan, but nope, he's not an Aquan. Now this should push the 25% threshold. If it doesn't, then it will take one extra turn, but we have one turn of cushion built in to this clear, so that shouldn't be a problem. But this should definitely hit the 25% threshold, and then you can kill him the following turn. There you go. Because he has an HP lock at 25%, so you have to hit the HP lock on turn 1 if you want to have any hope of killing him on turn 2. Okay. Alright, Abigail. Alright, she can just do triple bar fire Raja so that Ong can get in on the action here. Alright, actually, that's not going to be enough to fill him up, is it? That's okay. That's okay. I'm not worried about it. Sarah is... she took the Berserk, which is fine. No problem. We'll just do... you can do Drone Type F if you want to get rid of the barrier. It's only 100 million, so it's not really a big deal. But we'll just do double bar Fire Raja to give Ong a little bit more LB fill. Is there anything he needs to do? Not really anything Ong needs to do here, is there? I mean, I guess he can just chain, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he can just chain it up. That's fine. All right, should be good, and this should kill him from here, I think, because we still have our killers. Yeah, we're good to go. So this should definitely do it. Yeah. There you go. 2 turns on Kokuryu. All right, so I think so far, what does that bring us up to? 13 turns? Because we've done 2 turns on everything except for Tahto. So yeah, that's 13 turns so far, which means we have 17 turns to finish the last 3, and we should do them in 16 turns. Okay. Okay. Here, we can go ahead and just do a little bit of chip damage here if we want. Let's do Midday Sun. Actually, we don't really need to do that because Zahn's going to do the Imperil. Yeah, what do we need to do here, honestly? Let's just do Methodical. Actually, we don't even need to do Methodical, do we? Let's do Drone Cover, Anti-Physical, and Fire Raga. No, because then, yeah, Ong's still not going to have a full LB to do any damage here. So that's fine. Let's just do, no, sorry, not Methodical. Drone Cover. Let's do Veil and Shelga. So Ong will just do Fire Raga, Midday Sun. We won't worry about Clear Sun because we're going to get dispelled before the big burst, so we kind of want to save that. And he can just do, then, doesn't really matter. Alright, so he's going to imbue us with fire. Sarah can just do her SLB just for some buffs, so we can do, like, you know, a little damage here on turn 1. We do get that preemptive machine killer buff, which is nice. And, you know, ideally we just want to try and do a little chip damage just to make it easier to make sure we kill it on turn 5. So this probably isn't going to do very much, to be totally honest, but, you know, hopefully it does something. Yeah, 81, so it's, you know, not very much. And honestly, we should do enough damage on turn 5 to kill it from full health. But it's just to make sure. It's just like a little insurance policy there, right? Okay, so here Abby can just do her SLB, make sure everyone has some good mitigations. We will get dispelled on turn 3, but that's fine, because then she'll do her Omni cover on turn 4. And then, yeah, I think from here, we basically just sit back and guard. I think everyone can just chill out and guard. What we can do... Yeah, no one really needs LB fill, do they? We can just do Light Breath. Alright, so now we gotta sit back because of the Mighty Guard, right? So you can't dispel it. And it makes them basically invulnerable for, you know, three or four turns. So there's Sarah. You know, that's why she's 100% evasion for those uncoverable physical attacks there. Yeah, and I think we're just going to guard again on this turn. We didn't get dispelled, right? Yeah, no, that's this turn we get dispelled. So Abby can just do... what can she do on this turn? We can do anti-physical, anti-magic, and Veil, maybe? I don't know. Maybe a Barfire Raja. Alright, and then everyone can just... I mean, Zahn could do like Thick Fog, I guess. Well, no, we don't even need that because we're doing fire. So we don't even need the Thick Fog on this one. But we probably should put up... We should go ahead and do our Prismatic Field, shouldn't we? We probably should go ahead and do our Prismatic Field on this one. Okay. Oops. Meant to... can I go ahead and turn on priority mode so I don't get those messages? Alright. I meant to do that before the recording. And let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and put up our Fire Amp Field. But everyone else can just guard. Alright, we're going to do all our buffs next turn, because he's going to dispel us on this turn. So we don't want to do any buffs. And there's the Dispelling Ray. Okay. Alright, so now Abby is going to do her Omni cover, while everybody else buffs up and gets ready. So she'll do Methodical. We'll do Veil again, just to make sure we don't get hit with any ailments. And we'll do Barfire Raja. Ong. We'll do Infire Raga, Clear Sun, and Awaken Divinity. Okay, Sarah can just, I think, sit out. She can just hang out. She doesn't really need to do anything, to be honest. Zahn is going to do Deadly Daggers, Master Dismantler, and Projected Mirror to give everybody the 250 killers. We'll do Inferno Nova, Heavenly Hypernova, and then we can do Supreme Spectrum for the 100% amp to make sure we kill this thing. We'll do Inferno. Actually, if that's the case, we don't actually have to do Inferno Nova, do we? We really don't have to do Inferno Nova. But, yeah, we'll do it anyways. Heavenly and then Supreme Spectrum. And that should be more than enough to kill. Okay? So I think we should be good here. Okay, so there she goes. She covers the big attack, no problem. And now we are wide open to kill this thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have Sarah do a Quad Aura. This is for Ong because my Ong's only EX1. If he was EX2, I wouldn't worry about the LB fill so much. And then, yeah, triple bar fire Raja. Actually, I'm going to do, just in case we, like, for some reason don't kill, I'm going to do a drone cover just to be safe. And then double bar fire Raja. Okay, but, I mean, this should definitely kill the boss from here without issue. Alright. We do have our 250 killer buff, right? Yeah. Okay, so Zon and Ong first. Wait for a second, send your fundamental forces, and it should be an easy peasy KO. Okay. Boss has 20 billion HP, and we did how much? 21. All right. So only just killed it from full health. So it's a good thing we did that little chip damage, right? Okay. So we only did about 10% overkill. Only 10% overkill on that one. Alrighty. Chaotic engine. All right. So in my previous clear, you know, I showed you how you can avoid having to deal with the Mighty Guard. You can avoid having to deal with AoE death by pushing the 50% threshold on turn 1. This team is not strong enough to do that, so we're going to have to put up with the Mighty Guard. We're going to have to put up with AoE death, and you know, that's just what it is. The good thing is this boss doesn't dispel us. He dispels himself, however, so you do have to be careful about that. So he will dispel, you know, imperils and breaks and stuff like that. So you do have to be wary of that. But yeah, you don't have to worry about the party getting dispelled. We will still do like just a little bit of chip damage here, again, just to be safe. What we'll do is actually, what are we going to do on this one? We did want to do a little bit of chip damage on this one, right? Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't even want to bother with that on this one. Because I think, again, we do more than enough damage. Now, let's go and do chip, because we got to wait 5 turns anyway. So let's just do some chip damage. The fundamental forces, they can remove any imbues that you give them. So since we have a water, let's go with water. We're not going to use Clear Sun, though. We'll do Morning Dew and Rolling Mist. Okay. Just to do a bit of chip damage here on turn 1. Abigail. She can do Drone Cover, Anti-Physical, and Contingency Plan, maybe? Alright, Sarah does her SLB. And then, yeah, we'll do just a bit of chip damage here. Okay. And that should do it. That should do it, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, again, it's probably not going to do much. We might do like 20%, but you know, it just puts you in good position to hopefully make sure you kill it on turn 5. Very similar to what we did with Omega. All right. Oh, that's pretty good. 24%. Nice. Okay. And he will do a heal, much like Omega does, like a 10% heal later on, but yeah, it's no big deal. All right. So Ong got hit. The good thing we have, what's her face? All right, so we have Innocent Prayer here, which does removes ailments. So we'll do Light Breath and then Innocent Prayer. Okay. All right, so now we just kind of twiddle our thumbs for a bit. We'll do the Anti-Mag. We'll do Shelga and Veil. Okay, the fundamental forces can go ahead and re-imbue themselves with lightning. We'll do Prismatic Field, and we'll do Heavenly Hypernova because we don't have to worry about getting dispelled. So we'll do Plasma Storm. We'll imbue everybody else with lightning. Whoops, and Thundaga and Heavenly Hypernova. Ong can just hang out. Zon can also just hang out. Don't have to do anything here because we can't do anything for the next few turns anyway. So we'll do our big burst on turn 5. All right, so there it dispelled itself. It's fine. We just have Abigail reapply the brakes. Okay, anti-physical, anti-magic, and just do drone cover again, I guess. Okay. Ong, again, I think we can just guard on this turn. We'll set up our buffs next turn. Yeah, we don't have to do anything here. Yeah, we can just guard again. Zon. I'll tell you what, Zon can go ahead and do Deadly Daggers and Thick Fog. And yeah, how long does Master Dismantler? For 5 turns? Yeah, we can go ahead and do Master Dismantler too. Why not? Fundamental Forces can just hang out. Okay. Yep, that should be good. Okay, there's the heal. No problem. We're handling the AoE death without issue. Ailments are no longer a problem. Alright, so now we set up for our big boy burst. So it's 1 turn left, so let's get ready to do it. So here we can do Limitless and Supreme Spectrum Plus. And then just make sure... So for Zon's sake, let's do Event Horizon for a Fist in Peril, because he's got a fist in one hand. Limitless, Supreme Spectrum Plus, and we'll just do another Enthundaga. Okay, Sarah can do... Actually, we shouldn't need Enthundaga, right? Like, we still have plenty of turns of Lightning Element. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do Prismatic Field, because I can't remember if that's going to expire or not. We'll do Prismatic Field, Limitless Surge, Supreme Spectrum Plus there. Okay. Sarah can just hang out. Abby, on this turn, we'll do her Omni Cover, Methodical Mitigation, Shelga Veil, just to re-up our ailment resists. Sarah can just guard. Ong can do Clear Sun, Awaken Divinity, and it doesn't matter what his last one is. Alright, Zon can do Enervating Eclipse, Thick Fog, and Projected Mirror to project the Machine Killer. Alright, so we should definitely be ready to go. Ready to kill next turn. So I think we've got to do... So the boss has 20 billion HP. We should do that here, though. We should easily do 20 billion. Alright. LBs, LBs, LBs. Okay, we should be good to go there. So Zon and Ong first, just like before. Followed by followed by the Fundamental Forces. Alright. Alright, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. $24, okay, so we did like 20% of overkill right there. 20% overkill. Easy peasy. Alright, now finally the big boy. We've got Leviathan. Alright, so if you remember from my last video, the gimmick behind Leviathan is you have to hit him with ice damage for 4 turns in a row to get rid of his barrier, and then you can start dealing damage on turn 5. And this will be a 6-turn clear, so that'll make it a 29 total turn clear. So you make it within the 30-turn limit. Alright, so Sarah's just going to do Blizzara, which she gets from What's-Her-Face Esper, the... That Esper. Shiva. You can also have a fundamental force just imbue themselves with ice and hit it with like Galactic Sunder for 4 turns. That's perfectly fine because the boss is going to dispel you on turn 4 anyways and get rid of any imbues you might have. So that's perfectly viable strategy if you want to do that too. You don't have to have like Shiva Esper to do, it doesn't have to be magic, right? It doesn't have to be ice magic. You just have to hit it with ice damage of some kind. But it's just easy to have Sarah just sit there and do it. Okay. Let's see. We're going to do, Ong can go ahead and imbue everybody with water. We're going to save Clear Sun, but we will go ahead and do Rolling Mist. I just got to check and make sure. How long is that? Okay, it's for 5 turns. I'm going to save that for next turn because I don't want it to expire. But we can do... let's just imbue everybody. I don't even want to do Morning Dew because I want to save that Imperil for later. So I guess we'll just do Double Swift. All right, Zahn can do Thick Fog. Go ahead and re-up because I think that lasts for 10 turns, right? So we only have to do that once. Yeah, so we just have to do that once and we're good. And then we'll do Double Trick. Okay, we'll do Drone Cover, Contingency Plan, and Veil, because much like Kokuryu, he's done a Petrify Resistance Imperil on the party, so we got to make sure we re-up our Petrify Resistance. And here we can just do, let's do Event Horizon and Double Galactic. We'll do like a Nebulous and Double Galactic here. All right, so we're obviously not going to do, any kind of damage to Leviathan here. He's got a 90% general mitigation buff for 4 turns. I mean, you can try, you can do some chip damage here, but it's kind of pointless because he's got a 50% HP lock anyways. And so, on turn 5, we're just going to hit the 50% HP lock and be done with it. So, all right, I'm just going to repeat. We're just going to guard. Yeah, because we don't need to do anything else here. All right, Abigail can do her SLB, so everybody has some mitigations for any physical attacks that we're not evading or miraging or anything like that. So the boss won't dispel us until turn 4 when we break his barrier. Okay, looking good. All right, we're just going to do Drone Cover again. We're going to re-up our Veil, because you never want to forget that. We'll just do another Shelga. Okay, we're just going to reload and repeat everybody else, and I think that should be good. All right, so we're going to do, and hit him with Ice again. And everyone else is just going to guard. We're gonna do a bit of setup next turn with our fundamental forces. Okay. Okay, Ong can do. All he really needs to do here is Rolling Mist and Morning Dew for the Imperil, for the Water Imperil. That's all he really needs to do here. I mean, we can just do another in water go, I guess. Okay. Hit him with Ice one more time. Hit me, baby, one more time, right? Isn't that how the song goes? So we'll do Heavenly Hypernova, Limitless Surge Plus, because even though he's going to dispel us, he will not dispel our LB damage buff, which is the most important thing. Celestial Aegis. just for something to do for that last turn. All right, Heavenly Hypernova, Limitless Surge Plus, and Celestial Aegis. Zahn is going to do Enervating Eclipse, Thick Fog, and it doesn't really matter what he does for his final action. It can be whatever. Just don't do Deadly Daggers because you don't want it. You don't want to dispel his mod boost because we'll need that for the final burst turn. So we'll just do Trick Reversal. All right, so on this turn, Abby's going to use her Omnicover, Methodical Mitigation, because the boss is going to do a lot of damage, some of it uncoverable, some of it fixed. And so we got to make sure she's covering all that so that nobody dies. We can go ahead and do Anti-Physical, Anti-Magic. Why not? I think that should be good. Okay. Okay, there she goes. She's taking like 0 damage. Boss dispels us. That's fine. No problem. Alright, so on this turn, we just have to hit 50% HP lock. That's all we have to do. So Ong does In Waterga, Clear Sun, Awakened Divinity for his own mod boost. Sarah is going to do Aquan Killer on Zahn, and then Light Breath. Alright, Zahn is going to do Deadly Daggers, Thick Fog, and Projected Mirror. Alright, Abby is going to re-up her cover, most importantly. Re-up Veil, very important. And then she can do, let's just do like a Shelga. Alright, so we should be good to go. We're all imbued. We've got our buffs. We've got our killers. We're looking good. We should definitely hit the 50% threshold here without issue. And then we just recharge and go again next turn. Okay? Okay, there's the HP lock. Okay. Does a couple of AoE physicals, but we've got the mitigations to handle it, no problem. That looks like a dispel, but all it does is it gets rid of your, any water resistance buffs that your party has up, which we have none, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, now Abigail can just do triple bar Fire Raja. Okay, and then Sarah is going to probably need to do some aura to refill the fundamental forces. Okay, LB. So now we're like ready to rock and roll. So again, Zahn and Ong first, followed by the fundamental forces, and you're good to go. And this should definitely kill him, no problem. And there you go. All missions clear. Fairly budget team with some fairly budget gear. I mean, you know. And there you go, 20 billion. So we did, 100% HP damage there. So plenty of overkill, plenty of overkill. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So for those of you that had questions about, replacing some of the units, replacing Wilhelm, can I do it without, all the crazy clash gear and everything like that? The answer is yes, and that is how you do it. Obviously the friend, leading the way because they're much stronger than mine. Thank you again, Dr. No. You see Ong not really, he's not really contributing that much, but, where it counts, it counts. Zahn doing all right for himself there, but it's really just the fundamental forces leading the way. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful to you guys, the ones that couldn't do my other clear. Again, if you need a friend fundamental force, just hit me up in the comments below with your ID number and I will be happy to add you. Yeah, hopefully this helps you. Keep a lookout. I'll keep working on some different clears. I definitely want to do an Esther tank clear for you guys. I feel like I've been challenged to do that, so I definitely want to try and get it done. So thank you guys so much for following me. Stay tuned, more to come, and I will see you on the other side.